Hey, good morning, guys. We are making our way down to the Vice President's house, but that's not our destination, nor is the White House. Today I'm going to take you to the Capitol. And why? Because I've been saying I'm going to take you to the Capitol for about a week and a half, and I've never gotten up there. But today, it's like a mission. We're going to the Capitol. Now, the Capitol, the Senate's in session today. They're considering the infrastructure bill. I believe the House is still out of session for a couple more weeks. But there should be some activity we can go check out. Other than that, it's a lazy Monday. Joe Biden is staying in Delaware for a few days. Vice President Harris should be around. We might see her motorcade head out to the White House in a little bit. And other than that, we'll just see what else we can find out. What else is going on in the big city. Morning. Well, we just drove by the Vice President's house and we don't see the motorcycles. Motorcycles are usually there when there's a motorcade. Probably a sign that they've already gone to work or they're not going to work for a while. Anyway, we'll just keep making our way downtown. There's a COVID testing facility. Run by the city. Not a lot of people, not a lot of tests going on right now. Not a lot of people down here, to be honest. It is just about 10 o'clock, 9:59, Monday morning, and well, downtown DC looks about as quiet as it's been for a long time. The next few blocks will have more tourists than we have actual workers. As I showed you yesterday, they started resurfacing Jackson Place. That's this little street over here by the Commodore Decatur House and the Presidential Townhouse. It's a side street on Lafayette Park. And like all the streets around here, they're being resurfaced. Oh, it's got that smelly oil. Ugh. The park's open. The president's not around, so no real reason to close the park. No real activities going on. It looks like they're still working on Pennsylvania Avenue a bit too. And that building over there is getting worked on. I don't know if that's the Presidential Conference Center or... I don't know, most of these buildings are all connected together. On the outside they have a plaque, but on the inside it's all kind of like one building. That's the Presidential Townhouse. I can see workmen inside there. So they're working on the Presidential Townhouse today. And here's all that smelly asphalt. So they've only, looks like they put down a base layer, but they haven't totally refinished. I guess they have. Maybe they got one more layer to go because the manhole covers still kind of stick up a little bit. Big grounds crew doing work on the White House lawn. The White House lawn does actually look quite nice, especially compared to like all the lawns outside. I hear the bells of St. John's ringing. It's 9 o'clock. Oh. I saw him a minute ago. He was talking. There he is. He's over here. Not these selfie people. So there's your White House. And here is the Apple Maps guy getting ready to film in 360.
No, this is 72.
Pretty cool. What the? Protect Bears' Ears Now. redroadtodc.org. Why are they, what's up with bears' ears? That's something weird. Maybe they just did that because it's the kind of thing that you read and you say, well, why bears' ears? Why not just bears? So maybe they did that on purpose to make you go to their website. If it said just protect bears, you'd be like, yeah, okay, protect the bears. But then when it says protect bears' ears, they're kind of like, huh? Ears? I don't know. Okay, this is interesting. Lots of trucks out there today. Geez, it's like a virtual Everybody's out working today. These guys seem to be measuring the 0 milestone over some subway tunnel, some sort of manhole. Did it rain? This is all muddy today. I didn't know it rained. Maybe they turned the sprinklers on, because this is actually kind of gooey. Huh. I don't think it rained last night. Okay, Washington Monument being all monumental. We're gonna bicycle up this direction, then make our way down the mall. Now normally I take you guys over to Lincoln Memorial, but today, like I said, we're going to the Capitol. Check out the scene. Now the days pre-air conditioning, Washington DC was simply inhospitable in August. You just couldn't live here. It was just too bloody hot. It's still really quite hot in August, but air conditioning has moderated that quite a bit. Nonetheless, there is the tradition of the August recess. August is probably one of the slowest months in Washington, D.C. The Congress is gone, which means the lobbyists are chill. It's kind of month where people take vacations, get ready for school to start for their kids. So what you're going to see the next couple weeks probably is going to be pretty boring. But we'll try to find if there's anything interesting going on while everybody's away from the office. So I was just sitting here at a red light and kind of reminded you guys have been asking again about the IRS and the FBI. So as we make our way to the Capitol, why don't we go by the IRS building and the FBI so you guys can see for yourselves what it looks like. Now, I've done many videos in the past at the IRS and the FBI, and in the past we've seen people going in and out, and we've seen employee-only doors open, but other doors locked and shut. So let's go see what it looks like today, so you guys can know what's going on. This, by the way, is the American History Museum. It's open for business again. We should go there one day, yeah? That'd be kind of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Over there on the left is the Environmental Protection Agency, and then a big auditorium. And then we get to the IRS building, which is the next one down, which looks pretty much like it's been looking all month, the last couple months, yeah? We've got these sandbags over here, which we've shown you a few times. We're in Federal Triangle right now, which is one of the more flood-prone areas, and it is actually hurricane season. While DC doesn't get direct hits by hurricanes that often, we do get storms come up the Chesapeake Bay and dump quite a bit of rain on Washington. So we might see some flooding, in the next few months. I just dropped something I gotta pick up. So there's your sandbags covering up an air vent. I think that vent might be the Metro, to be honest, because it's got a active fan inside it blowing air out. The orange and the blue line run under here. I'm not sure if that's Metro or something else. But those over there, that's a light well, and they've got sandbags. No entrance. This door is not entrance. Here is some sandbags here. This is the IRS building. Up here is the IRS security. They're here in business. There's an employee entrance there, but I think this is the parking garage. There's two cars inside. They actually look like government cars. Now the main employee entrance is back down here, back behind the Trump Hotel. And this is where the staff come in. I wonder if I can go straight. I think there were stairs last time. So there's a security screener. There are stairs back here. Ugh. So that's the Trump Hotel. Let me turn around. Yeah, not many people inside right now. Oh, there's a security guard. That's about it, just one security guard. Let's, which way should we go? Let's go around this way, because then we can go by the FBI, yeah? In all the times we've been filming the IRS, we haven't seen many people go in and out. We've seen some vehicles go in and out. We did see a couple people go in and out one time. We haven't seen anyone yet today, just the security guards. This is the visitor's entrance down here, and this is closed. It has big signs saying go around to the Trump Hotel entrance. That's what those little white signs say. And let's just make our way around. Look, even the tour thingy is empty. No tourists in that thing. It's a Monday. Monday is not really a tourist day. That's the Department of Justice over there, that building. And here is the IRS. The IRS has some really good landscaping, I might note. No entrance. God, this bike is squeaking even more and more. I mean, look at this landscaping. They like cut the hedgerows and everything. The guys who collect the money actually spend it the best. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. This is another visitor entrance, I believe. Employee only entrance. Okay, and it's got arrows going to that other door. I wonder if they've opened another employee entrance. Because before, the only employee entrance open was the one back by the Trump Hotel. And then there's this entrance, which is all closed up, papered over. It looks like, and no entrance again. It's interesting to note there are no sandbags up on this side of the building. This side is apparently high enough in altitude not to warrant sandbags. There's not enough flooding. Now the FBI building is right kitty corner across the street, catty corner, however you pronounce it. And they've got, geez, look at all the FBI police. 1, 2, 3, 5 vehicles to protect a building 1 block long. Now the FBI, we do see people going in and out all the time. You can see there's police officers here, police officers at the gate. There's bikes coming up. That's the employee entrance. Now back up here, these are old entrances that are no longer used and they've been boarded up. Oh, this guy's got dogs. So there's the big wooden boarding. Now, I've been able on Google Maps to trace that back to 2006, but to be honest, I think they probably boarded this up after 2001, after 9/11. But I don't work here, so I'm not sure. Now this used to be where you'd go on the FBI Experience Tour, which was the public tour of the FBI. That's been closed due to, it was closed due to 9/11, then they reopened part of it, and then I guess they closed it due to COVID. So I haven't been on the FBI tour in literally 20 years. It was a cool tour. They ended with machine guns. They actually like fire off weapons. A special agent would fire off weapons in the firing range. It was actually kind of cool. But alas, no longer. Boy, this bike is getting worse and worse as we go. I can take you and show you these boards that are boarded up. Here we go. This entrance actually has a construction fence in front of it as well, because they are doing construction down on this side of the FBI building, which is slightly odd because this building is scheduled for a major rehab and or demolition. That's being heavily debated. What to do with this building? It's old and it's crunchy and it's all that. Here's that big crane that's up on stilts or whatever. We've seen this a few times. Honestly though, in the last month, not much of a change. It looks pretty much the same. The guys are busy working up there. You can hear them drilling and sawing and whatnot. Now this is the FBI visitor entrance down here, and I've seen people come in and out of here once or twice in the last month or two. You guys have been asking me to show you this place, but right now it looks kind of closed. They even got a cone in the door. Please use other door. Yeah, it looks pretty dead. Oh. Alrighty, let's make our way. That's the Justice Department. And they got some people working over there. Maybe we'll go over to the Justice Department. And we'll make our way up to the Capitol. We're almost there. Where to go next? Oh, I can show you these cameras. Some of you are asking me about these camera systems because they saw it on another YouTuber's stream. But let's get rid of this bike. Some of you are asking me about like broadcast towers or camera towers on the National Mall. And I think what you're talking about are these black boxes. There's a bunch of these. There's probably at least 4 that I've seen. And these are run by the police department. They've got 1, 2, couple cameras. They've got like Wi-Fi antennas. Crime Eye is what it's called, Crime Eye. And there's one of them here. There's one right over there, just between those lights, the next block. Then there's one down on the other, on this side. And I think there's one down over there. There's at least 4 or 5 of these. And they've got like an emergency call button. You can push a button if you need police assistance. And then they can actually watch what's going on in the mall. There's a bunch of these towers. I've seen them for a while, to be honest. I've seen them for at least a year, maybe longer. I'm not sure if that one looks new, actually. Don't recall seeing this one, but honestly, it's like street lights. It's not something I pay attention to that often because, well, they're kind of everywhere in town. But Crime Eye, that's the name of the company that makes them. Maybe we'll do a Google on that when we get back. But first, let's get are there any hot dogs or anything? I'd like a hot dog. Great. So the last 5 minutes of my talking and yakking, I haven't actually been filming because I was taking a picture instead of video, which is really annoying. But I'm here, yeah? I'm here at the U.S. Capitol. I'm on the west lawn of the Capitol. This is the west front. This is where all the fighting took place on January 6th. And now, though, it's pretty quiet. It's got this thin grass. It's like Bermuda grass or something. I don't know what this kind of grass is. Nobody's trampled on this grass in a year, so it's pretty darn green. Now, when I worked here, we used to go out on that patio and have this amazing view of the city. And we could sit on the steps after work and just kind of relax, but not anymore. Let's cut over that way. A lot of tourists out here. The last 15 yards or whatever are still closed. In the past, you used to be able to use that because that would connect you into the sidewalks that get you around the building. But they still have that shut down for security reasons. Or, as most of the people think, security theater reasons. The thing is, since January 6th, I don't think there's been a protest near the Capitol involving more than 100 people, maybe 200. It's been pretty quiet. And I mean, that's like all issues, not just, Trump election issues, but, everything. Protests have been very subdued this spring. So the continued need for fencing is mysterious. So down here is this little structure. It used to be a place they would go in the summertime because it was cooler. And this used to be where they would come in the hot months and cool off. I guess it is kind of cooler down in here. They've got that's kind of neat. One of those weird passive, it's much cooler here in the shade with a breeze coming over the water. This is one of those old passive cooling systems or whatever they used to build back in the days before air conditioners. They used to figure out ways to cool places using water and shade and wind. Let's keep going. This is the barricade where the officer was killed just a few months ago in the car attack on the barricade. I think he got run over or something. This is the Senate side. Oh boy, I'm just not having a good day. First I forget I'm not filming. Then I forget I don't have my good microphone on. Anyway, these are the steps to the U.S. Senate. And there's the Capitol. These are Capitol Police vehicles for the senior leadership of the Congress. Some of these look armored. Some are just stock Suburbans. You can see the stairs that go up to the dome in this view of the window. There's those little steps. That is the one tour I never got, because the only way to get that tour is to have a congressman personally take you up to the dome. And I could never convince my congressman to go up there. He was kind of older and he didn't think he could handle the steps, because there's like 130 steps or something like that. But that was the one tour I didn't get. Now, there was another Capitol shooting, oh God, 20 years ago. And that took place right here, where a crazy guy stormed in, shot and killed the police officer who was guarding the gate, and then went into this building, this office right here, which was, I think, Congressman DeLay's office from Texas. There he met Congressman DeLay's private bodyguard, his police bodyguard, and the two of them just basically Western style had a shootout straight into each other. And unfortunately, the police officer gave his life, but he managed to stop the assailant. So other police came in and arrested him. But because of his actions and his sacrifice, the assailant didn't run through the Capitol just shooting everybody. It was a sad day on Capitol Hill when those two officers died. Now, this is a very common photo, is you put the constituents here, the school group, and then you take a picture with the Capitol dome. So a lot of kids have had their photo taken there. Back during the Depression, there was a congressman. He used to go out there every morning with a bunch of like dimes and nickels and stuff like that, and he'd throw a dime or a nickel or a couple coins onto the steps. And then one day the policeman said, "Why do you keep doing that?" And he said, "Well, we got all these school kids visiting, and I want them to have a memorable visit the day they found a dime." Of course, back then a dime was worth a lot more. So he left them a little treat on the steps of the Capitol. So this is the Bartholdi Fountain. This is part of the U.S. Botanical Gardens, which is behind me. This fountain was built for the nation's centennial, if I recall, 1876. But it wasn't specifically built for the Capitol. It's just one of the things the U.S. Congress thought was kind of cool, and they bought it, and then they transported it down here. The Fountain of Light and Water, designed by Bartholdi for the 1876 Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia. For those of you who don't know the name Bartholdi, he also did the Statue of Liberty, which is in New York. And as I told you yesterday, a copy of that is in front of the French ambassador's house, now in Washington, D.C. I think these guys are weed whacking or like leaf blowing the dirt for some reason. Over here, though, is another one of those cameras you guys were asking about, another one of those crime eyes. I did a quick Google on that while I was eating a hot dog. These are U.S. Park Police, who has jurisdiction for the mall. Went out in about 2020 and made this proposal to put, I think it's 8 of these cameras along the National Mall between the Washington Monument and the U.S. Capitol. They were granted permission on the one condition that they not stay here more than 5 years. So apparently this is going to be a 5-year experiment, which will likely probably become permanent, because that's just how these things go. Putting crime cameras along the National Mall. There's another one over there. So we'll see that one. But I'll put a link in the description to the proposal to put these cameras up. Actually, you can probably see it from this side. It's got a blue light on it. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. And get on the smooth part. Yeah, so there's one over there. They sort of left, right, up and down the mall between 15th Street and 3rd Street, which is the Capitol and the Washington Monument. Capitol Police said that they just didn't have any surveillance capabilities on the National Mall, and they wanted to have that. I don't know who's actually watching on the other end, if anyone. That's often the problem with crime control cameras, is they put up the cameras, but nobody's actually watching. It smells kind of funny down here today, like stale ditch water. So there's another one of the crime eyes. The proposal I saw had like a lot of them, but then I read that they were given authority for 8. And I see another one. There's another one right over there behind that tractor. You see that guy on the tractor? Yeah, right there. There's one right behind him. The original proposal I saw, looked like they were going to have like 15 or 20 of these things. But then I think they got permission to put up 8. But like I said, I'll put a link in the description and you guys can Google more about it. This is the Natural History Museum on the right. Bugs and dinosaurs and stuff. It's reopened. We'll go in there. We should do some tourist stuff. You know, we haven't done any tourist stuff in about a month or two, have we? So let's make our way down to the Big Stick. And from the Big Stick, we'll go over to the White House. Whoa, that was rough. So I skidded out. There was too many stones and I started to skid, but I couldn't overcompensate for the skid because there's that stupid metal pole there. And well, I got around it. Barely. Did take a little knock to my left knee, but that was kind of cool. You guys are always excited when I nearly die. What's this? We got multiple police cars up here at the Treasury. Let's go take a look. Because the Treasury is next to the White House. So they've got a vehicle stopped. Sorry, we had to change cameras for a second. So the Secret Service, there's a vehicle over here. There's 2 or 3 vehicles up here. Bicycle. They have a vehicle stopped and they're questioning someone inside the vehicle. Could just be a traffic stop. But traffic stops here. Does look like a traffic stop. Oh, there's a car with no license plates. That's kind of suspicious. Car has no license plate, which is suspicious enough to get anyone pulled over. Lots of construction. Oh, there's the digger back there digging a big hole. There's 2 diggers actually. I see 2 big scoop diggers over there. One of them is actually engaged in digging right back here behind this fence. Not sure what they're digging. I don't think it's a fence post. I'm on a cursed bicycle right now. So I've almost wiped out. I banged my leg. I just almost ran over a tourist. A little bit hesitant to keep riding this bike. Who knows what else might happen before I get home. Maybe I can. I think I can get to the park. There's a box truck at Blair House. Construction vehicle. And that yucky asphalt spreader. Who's back? And well, there's the road being resurfaced, but we have no way to get across it. Whew. It smells like, well, it smells like asphalt and tar. And, well, if you're ever near a construction or when they put down a new tarred road, that's the smell you got right now. Whew. They're spreading out the asphalt there. God, it stinks. Yeah, like that. Let's head out of the downtown. So it's 11:40. These restaurants are getting ready for some sort of lunch crowd. Not sure how much it's going to be. It is pretty quiet in downtown DC still, with most of the government work from home, most of the private sector even work from home. I think the DC area is one of the more cautious areas in the country when it comes to work from home. Of course, the federal government mandating that has pretty much set the tone for private employers in the area. Oh wow, so we're halfway up the hill and the bike died. The battery assist has died, which means the bike is now like a 70-pound tank, which is absolutely impossible to bike. So I'm turning around, going back downhill. We're gonna dock this at a bike rack, find another bike or a scooter. That's annoying. Guys, that's a Monday in Washington, D.C. in August. It's a pretty ordinary kind of day for official Washington, with the president away and the vice president not working and the Congress, well, not really doing much. There's just not a lot going on. I'm trying to find stuff for you guys to see. If I find something in the unofficial Washington, I'll be too happy to show it to you. Just let me know what you want to see. We'll keep looking around the city to try to let you see what's going on in the nation's capital. But like I said, it is the August recess. This is a generally pretty boring time of year, but who knows? We'll know what next week brings. All right, thanks a lot for watching.